My name is Miriam. I'm 34 years of age. I had a bacterial infection which caused an incomplete spinal cord injury 5 years ago. It affected the level T3 to T5 of my spinal cord. I was a student in Birmingham City University. I got sick a couple of months before I was done with my degree. Basically, I'm an incomplete spinal cord injured person who can walk a little bit because I can use the chair sometimes, I can use my rollator sometimes. I first met Backup a couple of years ago. I got a call from team. The Next Steps course is designed to cater for people who can walk a little bit but also have spinal cord injuries. We talked about everything, the allowed topics and the forbidden topics. The allowed topics, the ones about sensations, pain, fatigues, stigmas, shame, guilt, everything. The forbidden ones, from our toilet issues to people not understanding you, to we talked about everything, and it was nice to have that avenue to be able to share and learn as well. So that was good. It also kind of like helped me understand that regardless of being an SCI, SCI people also have jobs and they have a life, and they get married, they have children. There's a life out there which I didn't seem to know before I met Backup. Yeah, so that was good.
Hi there. Miriam,
What makes Backup a special charity? What makes them unique and different? To me is because they care. There is something that they provide that it stays with you even after you've left, you've gone home. It's still there, and yeah, it's the level of care, love, support. They're just there for you no matter what. They're there for you.
My name is John. I'm 53 years old. I was knocked off of my motorbike just under 2 years ago, and I am a T3 complete. The 25th of June was just meant to be a normal day. I was meant to get up and go to work on my motorbike, and the car pulled in front of me and knocked me off. The next thing I remember is waking up in the middle of August in Salisbury Intensive Care Unit. Backup was there right from the beginning. I came to the course because I wanted to basically go out of my comfort zone and try things that I normally wouldn't get a chance to do at home.
It's quite mind-boggling, actually, because it's playing on
things that you just wouldn't imagine that you'd be able to do when you're basically paralysed. For me, it's so important to meet other people who have spinal injuries. In my normal life, I don't do that. I am the only spinal injury person in the village. It's as simple as that, it really is. Coming here, I get a chance to share my experiences, to talk to other people and understand the issues they have. Obviously, a lot of them are far more down the line than me. They might have been 10 or 20 years injured. And that gives me a chance to understand what other people are doing. It just gives me so much confidence to go out into the real world and to practice these things, because just the little tips that Dave says to me, lean back, go back a little bit more. You don't feel like you want to do it, but he's right. The confidence to go out and go to people's houses, go to shops, restaurants, and travel, do all those things. If somebody was newly injured, I would absolutely encourage them to get in contact with Backup. For me, it's been everything that I needed to show me that there is a possibility to carry on, whether it's living, travelling, working, driving, whatever. Those were things which Backup inspired me to do in the beginning.
My name's Will, I'm 33 and I had a cycling accident 6 years ago. I'm C4 complete. Life pre-injury, I was particularly active. I spent 4 winters in the Alps, really into my cycling. I was going at maximum speed when a stick caught in my wheel, and jammed in my spokes and sent me over the top onto my head.
And he was airlifted to a hospital in the northeast, Middlesbrough. So I spent the first 5 months after his accident actually living there and being there with him. Hi, it's Angela Clark speaking. I'm just wondering, is there anyone there that I might have a quick chat with, please? I just, in the hospital, saw an advertisement for backup and that they offered mentoring, and I just rang up and cried, and they were just so lovely from that first telephone conversation. They were just so lovely with me and so understanding, and understood that if that's what Will needed at that time, they would help facilitate that.
My mentor had a really positive and proactive attitude. It was very important to speak to someone with a similar level of injury. The person I spoke to had had the accident about 5 years previous, and it showed me what would be possible, maybe not straight away, but certainly a few years down the line. It made me realise that I could certainly keep busy and live an active lifestyle.
Most things that happened. The office offered a father who would speak to me about his experience of his son having a similar injury. So I decided to take up the offer, because at that point I was just open to anything that might help us. I think that's really good advice. I think that's great. Yeah. He didn't just paint a glorious picture of a wonderful future. You know, he told me all the stuff that had happened along the way, but that they had managed to overcome those things. And I think that was positive, and I think in a way it gave me hope that we could do the same. Lots of people around us were very sympathetic and very caring, but actually they didn't really understand how I felt or how Will felt. Speaking to a family who's been affected by a spinal cord injury, they know.
I went on the Sweden ski karting course, having spent so much time on the snow. I just wanted to be back up on the mountain. I didn't know what to expect when I first got back onto the snow, so we were straight up to the top. And we were heading down, and I found this really enjoyable. It took me back to how things had been prior to my accident. I'd say to anyone with a spinal injury thinking about getting back into work to just get stuck in and do it. I've got two. I know that you can see in the email. Don't give it any second thoughts. Just see what you can do, get involved, maybe start volunteering, and then see where it leads. Each opportunity opens a door to something else, and it makes a big difference to have purpose in your life rather than just staying at home.
Backup are always on the end of the phone. They are always there for you.
Hi Denise, this is Ollie calling from Backup, Spinal Injuries Charity.
Morning, Backup. Charlie speaking. How can I help?
We're here at Backup to make that journey easier, to give you support along that line.
I was just wanted to speak to you about potentially getting some mentoring. Is that something you'd be interested in?
We've always got someone in the office that will be able to take a phone call. So shall I give you my direct line number?
We have a number of services. We have a courses team. And